on Saturday, the 1st of December, we stayed another night in Shotover, and in the morning we got the bus to Frankton, where we visited the Frankton markets, which were mostly food things, but very pretty. And we got pastry each, some pumpkin and honey loaf, a little jar of honey, and some smoked salmon, all of which were very yummy for the rest of the trip. Then we got back on the bus and went into Queenstown to visit the wildlife centre there. And we saw some adult kiwis there who were fighting and being very interesting to watch in the nocturnal house, and lots of other native birds as well as some Maori displays. Then we went to the Queenstown markets as well, and they were more art and crafty ones. We poked around there for a bit and then had some lunch in Queenstown and headed back on the bus home again.
Right. Really? Make a noise? Maybe not. Oh, there we go. Come on, look in a minute. I'm just going to film the ducks for a minute. They're very cute. So small, aren't you?
Oldest recorded tuatara is one called Henry. He lives down in Invercargill. It's pretty famous down there. He is 114 years of age. He just became a dad for the first time at 110. Now, Henry, he's got 3 wives, and the youngest of which is just 23. Invercargill actually can't keep up with how much he's reproducing. So, based on everything we know about Henry, we think they could live well into their 200s. There's still lots that we don't know about the tuatara. You might think Rex looks a little bit like a lizard. Tuatara, they're not lizards. They're actually more related to dinosaurs than they are to lizards. They're in a group called Sphenodontia. Sounds pretty Jurassic. That's because these guys were around 235 million years ago. It's actually 100 million years before T-Rex. They have been here a really long time. The reason the tuatara was so successful when all the dinosaurs died out is that they have the lowest optimum body temperature of any animal. So during cold periods, they go into a state called torpor. It's like a hibernation state for the reptiles. They'll slow down all their body systems. They don't need to breathe for over an hour. They don't need to eat for a really long time because they're not using a lot of energy. This is a breed and release.
On the 2nd of December, we left Shotover, drove through Queenstown and out towards Omarama. And along the way, we stopped at lots of wineries, tasted some wine and cheese, and Lloyd grabbed a few bottles, which he was very keen to stop and start drinking. And when we got to Omarama, we settled down with our wine and cheese and had a very lazy afternoon. On the 3rd of December, we drove from, where did we start? We drove from Owamara to Timaru, stopping off in Oamaru. And we stopped and had some coffee and a muffin in Maru. But it was quite early, it was about 10:30, so we headed straight on to Timaru. It's very pretty in Timaru. Caravan Park is pretty awesome. It's a bit expensive, but it's really beautiful and has great facilities. And we went for a walk around Timaru. There's a walk in Avery, exercise equipment, and nice tracks along the beach, which is nice. On Tuesday, the 4th of December, we had a rest day in Timaru. I had a morning walk down along the beachfront, past the walk in Avery, had a dance in the amphitheatre there, and observed some of the local birds and things, had a little jog around the oval and a go on the rowing machine. When I got back, we played some Dungeons and Dragons, with me practicing being Dungeon Master. We made a yummy omelette for dinner, and we got visited by the resident Caravan Park cat who sat on our laps. On Wednesday, the 5th of December, we travelled from Timaru to Akaroa, which is a little French settlement. The drive was very beautiful and quite scary and windy, just like the one down into Queenstown. But this time it was really lots of views of pretty farmland, very green, not so foresty, but also on the shore of a big lake. When we got there, we had a walk around along the lakefront. It was quite hot, felt like we were back in Australia. We got an ice cream and then headed up to the caravan park and rested for the night.
Video of the truck?
Yes. Yes, I have. I can see it in front of me because some of the time I can't film out the side because it gets too many trees and stuff. A light truck driver. Don't get that all that often.
Finally, on Thursday, the 6th of December, we left Akaroa and headed back down to Christchurch to return our camper van. We had a few stops along the way with coffee and stuff. Then we dropped off the camper van and we couldn't check into our hotel yet, so we went next door to the Antarctic Centre, which was actually really fascinating, and there's lots of really good pictures from there. New Zealand is actually quite important in the exploration and research going on in Antarctica. Here comes a friend. Things we love about New Zealand. Scenery. Number one, it's amazing. Driving through New Zealand is pretty much like a journey through Middle Earth all the way. There's big snowy Alps and fields full of lambs and rainforest and waterfalls everywhere and just so much water compared with Australia, really wet. Kiwis. Kiwis are cute and very interesting. We found out lots about Kiwis. Awesome cider. They make this cider here, and it's Feijoa cider, and we had a lot of fun drinking that